this hour. Coffee is more of a survival aid than anything, isn't it? Good morning, everybody. It's me, Tim, the Dizzy Daddy, and it is very early here at DizzyDaddyTV. It is 5:05 a.m. and this is the time in the morning when I usually get my family's lunch together, and I thought I'd let you in on my wife's lunch. The ladies at her office often ask about it, and I usually make her a salad. She enjoys carbs as well as anybody does, but during the day she likes to go a little bit lighter, but she still needs a good amount of protein in there. So I often make her all kinds of different salads. Today I'm going to take you through sort of an Asian style duck salad that I like to make for her. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, I have our duck breast here. Now, I've brought this up to room temperature. Basically, it's always very important to temper your meats. So if you're cooking any protein and it's been in your fridge, then just pop it out of there at a minimum of half an hour. This has been sitting around for about that long, maybe 45 minutes, so it's good to go. But first, we're gonna prep the actual salad itself. So for our actual salad, I'm gonna put it in this container here, and I've got some of this slaw mix left, kale slaw. Once the sauce goes on and it marinates for a while, that's going to shrink right down a bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of this leftover cabbage that I've got as well. That much should do her. Okay, so let's make our vinaigrette. This is what's going into it. Again, it's a sort of an Asian style, Asian flavored vinaigrette. My kids are actually still asleep, so that's why I'm speaking so quietly. But, okay, I've got here a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of fish sauce, about a teaspoon of sesame oil, a tablespoon of ponzu. You can also use low sodium soy and extra lemon if you like. Speaking of lemon, this is about a third of a lemon. I had some green onion left over, so I'm just going to put a little bit in there, not all of this, but... Okay, and for those of you who are worried, this is not vodka. This is vinegar, and I've got 2 tablespoons in here. But what I'm going to do is just kind of pour about a tablespoon worth in, and I'm just going to taste it. I'm just going to see. Now remember, if you taste this stuff, it's going to be way more powerful than it's eventually going to be on your salad. So just keep that in mind. That's good. Maybe just a little more vinegar. So I put about a tablespoon and a half of vinegar. Depending on what you're making, you might want to put a little bit more, a little bit less. Sometimes I just put about 2 tablespoons of vinegar in, and sometimes just 1, and sometimes I just go with lemon. But basically, you want some sweet, you want an oil, right? I always use the sesame oil for Asian-based sort of sauces. And then you want an acid of some kind. So whether that's vinegar or lemon or a combination of both, you can kind of experiment with it. And then lastly, Chinese 5-spice. And just a tiny bit of this, because it is going to be put on our duck breast as well. So just a little bit, just again for a bit of fragrance. I'm going to take this, and we're just going to pour it over. And then gently stir this up a bit. Oh, I forgot one important thing. My wife likes spice in her salad, so I'm just gonna cut a little bit of Thai chili into it. Usually I put this right into the vinaigrette at the beginning, so it sort of infuses it with the heat, but this is fine too. I'm just gonna Okay, we can set that aside for a bit and start prepping our duck. The first thing you want to do is just feel to make sure there isn't still sort of like any big feather type things in it. If there's a couple sort of soft ones, it's fine. It's like the hard little nubs that you want to get out. Okay, so let's flip this over. Oh, now look what we got here. Okay, that's a bit of bone, so we're just going to trim that. And we're also going to trim the excess fat off. Okay, this has enough fat without there being extra chunks. Now you can keep this to render it if you like. I'm just going to put it to the side. I may do that later if I have some time. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to score it all over so that it renders and crisps up in the pan. So what we're going to do is just kind of go like this with a bunch of sort of like cuts this way and then a bunch going the other way, sort of like a diamond pattern. So just make sure, you may know this already, but make sure you do not cut so deep that it goes into the actual meat itself. You just want to score the skin. Okay. Okay, now we'll go the other way. Just gonna wash my hands here and then we're gonna season. A little bit of salt. Actually, a good amount of salt. Some pepper. I'm gonna flip this over. And then now we're gonna rub it a little bit with the 5 spice as well. Just a little bit on the bottom. And then on the top, a decent amount. And then just rub that into the skin. Let's get it into the pan. I'm going to cook this in 2 stages, so to speak. So what I've done is I've covered my little toaster oven pan with this foil here, and I've heated my toaster oven to 350 degrees, and I'm actually going to place this in there so that this is really hot, almost like a sizzle pan, right? I'm going to cook the duck in here, and then when it's ready, when it's seared properly on the skin side, I'm gonna do a little bit on the meat side, but then I'm going to transfer it straight to here with some tongs, and it's gonna be in the toaster oven. So I'm gonna cook it on the skin side for about starting from a cold pan, probably about 6 to 7 minutes, or until the skin crisps. Basically, you're going to check that. Then flip it over, cook it on the meat side for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to transfer it straight into the toaster oven onto the hot pan. Keep it in there for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then we're going to check on it, and we're going to see. We're going to try to get that perfect medium doneness. Okay, so I'm going to pop this into my toaster oven. We got the duck breast. It's going to go skin side down, and this pan right now is completely cold. We start in a cold pan, okay? Because if you preheat the pan and put it in there, what's going to happen is not enough of the fat is going to render, and you're not going to get that crisp, nice skin that we like on a duck breast. We're going to place it at about, I'd say medium high. So if you've got one of those dials that kind of goes low to high, it'd probably be, if medium's a 5, it'd probably be at about a 6. It's been in there for about a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and I've turned the heat down to medium. I was just trying to get it up to a good temperature, but once your pan gets hot, especially if it's a thicker bottom pan like this, it retains a lot of heat, so you can turn down the temperature just a little bit. And we're gonna go for another 4 or 5 minutes. That's been in there for about 6 minutes. You can see how it's tightening up. It's rendered a lot of fat. As you can see, it has a delightfully crispy skin on it now. So now I'm gonna flip it over. About 2 minutes on the meat side. It's been going for about 2 minutes, if you have little uncooked areas on the sides, I did this earlier and I forgot to record it, but I'll just redo it for you. You can kind of baste it. Like that, just to get the sides done. Now we're going to transfer it into our toaster oven for about another 3 to 5 minutes. We'll check on it. Okay, there we go. I had that in there for just under 5 minutes, about 4.5 minutes, and let's just have a little squeeze. And that, I think that's going to be good. This isn't the most scientific, but you've heard of testing for doneness with parts of your hand, right? So, a good way I like to test the duck, what you want when you're touching it, okay, is when you have your hand open like this, feel that part. Feel this part right here. If you feel that, see how it's kind of squashy, right? Now close your hand and make not like a super tight fist, but just kind of make a loose fist. Now touch it again just on the side here. You see how it's tightened up just a bit? You can feel a little bit of firmness. That's what you want to feel when you grip the sides of the breast here. That's sort of like not quite super firm, but not squashy like this. This is way too squashy, okay? That's raw on the inside. I'm just going to let this rest for about 15 minutes. We can let it cool down because it is going on a salad. So, yeah, we'll revisit this in 15 minutes and give it a cut and see what it looks like inside. Okay. That is what you want, okay? If you look, it's sort of a medium, right? It's a medium rare, closer to medium. But this is what you want. You don't want that gray ring, right? When it starts to get overcooked, it starts to get a bit of like a gray ring. Basically, it'll all be the color of like this outside piece. And that's too much. You don't want that, right? Now, if this does make you nervous, right? It's all personal taste, but it's tastier like this, right? But if it makes you nervous, then by all means, leave it in the toaster oven for a little bit longer. Okay, I kept it in there for about 4.5 minutes and then let it rest for 15 minutes, but you can definitely keep it in there longer. But this is what you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to cut that up and we'll get it on the salad once it's cool. Perfect. And I had some leftover edamame from last night's dinner, so I'm going to sprinkle a few of those in there. Bit of cilantro. My wife likes cilantro. It's all green, so I'm going to put... My wife really likes spice, so I'm just going to hit it with just another few flecks of red with the Thai chili. And there we go. That's my wife's Asian duck salad for lunch today. So there you have it. There's my daily lunchtime making routine. Well, part of it. Thanks for joining me, and yeah, thanks for putting up with the weird lighting and the sort of impromptu sort of angles and all that stuff. But I thought this would be nice for a change of pace. If you like this video, please do subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff, and come on back some other time, we'll do something else. Take care. What are all these lights? What are all these lights? Okay, you want your after walk treat, right? No, wait. You just came in from having this is your after poop treat, isn't it? I swear, you're the most treated dog in Canada. Maybe the world. Alright. I'll get it for you.